So Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023 arrangement of sections chapter 1 preliminary. Chapter 1 preliminary. Okay, chapter 1 preliminary. So sections is there, one is there, section 1 short title, commencement and application, section 2 definitions, section 3 general explanations, section 3 general explanations. Chapter 2 is that of punishments. Chapter 2 is punishments. Section 4 is a punishment. Section 5 is a commutation of a sentence. Commutation of a sentence. Section 6 fractions of terms of punishment. Section 7 sentence may be wholly or partly rigorous or simple. 8 is an amount of fine, liability in default of a fine, payment of a fine, etc. 9 is that limit of a punishment of offense made up of several offences. 10 is the punishment of a person guilty of one of several offences. Judgment is stating that it is doubtful of which. Okay, so punishment for section 4, punishment section 4, punishment section 5, commutation of a sentence, section 5, commutation of sentence, section 6 is the fractions of terms of a punishment, section 6 fractions of terms of punishment, section 7 sentence may be in certain cases of imprisonment wholly or partly rigorous or simple. Section 7 is the sentence may be in certain cases of imprisonment wholly or partly rigorous or simple. Section 8 is the amount of fine, liability in default of fine, payment of fine, etc. Section 8 is the amount of fine, liability in default of payment of fine, etc. Section 9 is the limit of punishment of offense made up of several offences. Section 9 is that limit of punishment of offense made up of several offences. Section 10 is the punishment of a person guilty of one of several offences. Section 10 is the punishment of a person guilty of one of several offences. Judgment stating that it is doubtful of which. Okay, and section 10 is the punishment of person guilty of one of several offences. Judgment stating that it is doubtful of which. Section 11 is the solidarity confinement. Section 11 is the solidarity confinement. Section 12 is the limit of solitary confinement. Section 12 limit of solitary confinement. Section 13 is an enhanced punishment of for certain offences after previous conviction. Section 13 is an enhanced punishment for certain offences after previous conviction. Okay, so this is the chapter 2, and come to chapter 3 is that the general explanations, general exceptions. Section chapter 3 general exceptions. 14 is the act done by a person bound or by mistake or fact believing himself bound by law. Section 14 act done by a person bound or by mistake of fact believing himself bound by law. Section 15 is the act of judge when acting judicially. Section 15 act of judge when acting judicially. Section 16 is the act done pursuant to judgment or order of court. Section 16 act done pursuant to judgment or order of court. Act done pursuant to judgment or order of court. Section 17 act done by a person justified or by mistake of fact believing himself justified by law. Section 17 is the act done by a person justified or by mistake of a fact believing himself justified by law. Section 18 is the accident in doing a lawful act. Section 18 is that the accident in doing a lawful act. Section 19 is that act likely to cause harm but done without criminal intent and to prevent other harm. Section 19 is the act likely to cause harm but done without criminal intent and to prevent other harm. Section 20 is the act of a child under 7 years of age. Section 20 act of a child under 7 years of age. Section 21 act of a child above 7 and 12 years of age of immature understanding. Section 21 act of a child above 7 and under 12 years of age of immature understanding. Section 22 is the act of a person of unsound mind. Section 22 act of a person of unsound mind. Section 23 act of a person incapable of judgment by reason of intoxication caused against his will. Section 23 is the act of a person incapable of judgment by reason of intoxication caused against his will. Section 24 offense requiring a particular intent or knowledge committed by one who is intoxicated. Section 25 offense requiring a particular intent or knowledge committed by one who is intoxicated. Section 25 is that act not intended and not known to be likely to cause death or grievous hurt done by consent. Section 25 act not intended and not known to be likely to cause death or grievous hurt done by consent. Section 26, act not intended to cause death. Act not intended to cause death done by consent in good faith for person's benefit. Section 26 is that act not intended to cause death done by consent in good faith for person's benefit. Section 27, act done in good faith for the benefit of a child or person of unsound mind by or by consent of a guardian. Section 27, act done in good faith for benefit of a child of or person of unsound mind by or by consent of a guardian. Section 27, act done in good faith for good benefit of a child or person of unsound mind by or by consent of guardian. Section 28 is a consent known to be given under the fear or misconception. Section 28 is a consent known to be given under fear or misconception. Section 29, exclusion of acts which are offences independently of harm caused. Section 30 is act done in good faith for benefit of a person without consent. Section 31 is a communication made in good faith. Section 32 is an act to which a person is compelled by threats. Section 33 is an act causing slight harm. Act causing slight harm. Okay, then of right of private defense. Of right of private defense. Section 34 is things done in private defense. Section 34, things done in private defense. Section 34, things done in private defense. Section 35, right of private defense of body and of property. Section 35, right of private defense of body and of property. Section 35, right of private defense of body and of property. Section 36, right of private defense against act of a person of unsound mind, etc. Section 36, right of a person, right of a private defense against act of a person, act of a person of unsound mind, etc. Section 37, acts against which there is no right of private defense. Section 37, acts against which there is no right of private defense. Section 38, when right of private defense of body extends to causing death. Section 38, when right of private defense of body extends to causing death. Section 38, when right of defense, private defense of body extends to causing death. Section 39 is that when such right extends to causing any harm other than death. Section 39, when such right extends to causing any harm other than death. Section 39, when which such right extends to causing any harm other than death. Section 40 is that commencement and continuance of right of private defense of body. Section 40, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of body. Section 40, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of body. Section 41, when right of private defense of property extends to causing death. Section 41, when right of private defense of property extends to causing death. Section 41, when right of private defense of property extends to causing death. Section 42, when such right extends to causing any harm other than death. Section 42, when such right extends to causing any harm other than death. Section 42, when such right extends to causing any harm other than the death. Section 43, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of property. Section 43, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of property. Section 43, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of property. Section 44, right of private defense against deadly assault when there is risk of harm to innocent person. Section 44, right of private defense against deadly assault when there is a risk of harm to innocent person. Section 44, right of private defense against deadly assault when there is risk of harm to innocent person. Okay, so this is section 3. Section 3 is from section 3 general exception, section 14 to section 44. Okay, now come to section chapter 4 of abatement, criminal conspiracy and attempt of abatement. Okay, of abatement. Okay, chapter 4 is of abatement, criminal conspiracy and attempt. Of abatement, criminal conspiracy and attempt. Okay, of abatement. Then section 45, abatement of a thing. Section 45, abatement of a thing. Okay, section 45 abetment of a thing. Section 46 is it abettor. Section 46 is it abettor. Section 46 abettor. Section 47 abetment in India of offences outside India. Section 47 abetment in India of offences outside India. Section 47 abetment in India of offences outside India. Section 48 abetment outside India for offence in India. Section 48 abetment outside India for offence in India. Section 48 abetment A outside India for offence in India. Section 49 is the punishment of abetment if act abetted is committed in consequence and where no express provision is made for its punishment. Okay, section 49 is that punishment of abetment if act abetted is committed in consequences and where no express provision is made for its punishment. Section 49 is that punishment of abetment if act abetted is committed in consequence and where no express provision is made for its punishment. Section 50 is a punishment of abetment if person abetted does act with different intention from that of abettor. Section 50 punishment of abetment if person abetted does act with different intention from that of abettor. Section 50 is a punishment of abetment if person abetted does act with different intention from that of abettor. Section 51 is liability of abettor when one act abetted and different act done. Section 51 liability of abettor when one act abetted and different act done. Section 51 liability of abettor when one act abetted and different act done. Okay, section 51 liability of abettor when one act abetted and different act done. Section 52 is that abettor when liable to cumulative punishment for act abetted and for act done. Section 52 is that abettor. Section 52 is that abettor when liable to cumulative punishment for act labeled for act abetted and for act done. Section 52 abettor when liable to cumulative punishment for act abetted and for act done. Section 53 is liability of abettor for an effect caused by act abetted different from that intended by abettor. 53 is liability of abettor for an effect caused by act abetted different from that intended by abettor. Okay, section 54 is abettor present when offense is committed. Section 54 abettor present when offense is committed. Section 55 is that abatement of offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 55 abatement of offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 55 abatement of offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 56 is the abatement of offense punishable with imprisonment. Section 56 is the abatement of offense punishable with imprisonment. Section 57 is the abetting commission of offense by public or by more than 10 persons. Section 57 abetting commission of offense by a public or by or more than 10 persons. Section 58 is concealing design to commit offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 58 concealing design to commit offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 58 concealing design to commit offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 59 is the public servant concealing design to commit offense which it is his duty to prevent. Section 59 is the public servant concealing design to commit offense which it is a duty to prevent. Section 59 is the public servant concealing design to commit offense which it is his duty to prevent. Section 60 is concealing design to commit offense punishable with imprisonment. Section 60 concealing design to commit offense punishable with imprisonment of criminal conspiracy. Okay, of criminal conspiracy. Section 61 is the criminal conspiracy. Section 61 is a criminal conspiracy. Section 51 is the criminal conspiracy. Section of attempt. Section 62 is a punishment for attempting to commit offenses punishable with imprisonment for life or other imprisonment. Section 62 is a punishment for attempting commit offenses punishable with imprisonment for life or other imprisonment. Section 62 punishment for attempting to commit offenses punishable with imprisonment for life or other imprisonment. Section 62 punishment for attempting intending to commit offences punishable with imprisonment for life or other imprisonment. Chapter 5 is it of offences against women and child. Chapter 5 of offences against women and child of sexual offences. Okay, chapter 5 of offences against women and child. Okay, women and child of sexual offences. Section 63 is that rape. Section 63 is that rape. Section 64 is that punishment for rape. Section 64 is the punishment for rape. Section 65 is the punishment for rape in certain cases. Section 65 is the punishment for rape in certain cases. Section 66 is the punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. Section 66 is the punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. Section 66 is the punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. Section 67 is a sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. Section 67 is a sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. Section 67 is a sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. Section 68 is that sexual intercourse by a person in authority. Section 68 is sexual intercourse by a person in authority. Okay, Section 68 is sexual intercourse by a person in authority. Section 69 is that sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means, etc. Section 69 is a sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means, etc. Section 69 is a sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means, etc. Section 70 is a gang rape. Section 70 is that gang rape. Section 71 is that punishment for repeat offenders. Section 71 is the punishment for repeat offenders. Section 71 is the punishment for repeat offenders. Section 72 is a disclosure of identity of a victim of a certain offences, etc. Section 72 is a disclosure of identity of victim of a certain offences, etc. Section 72 is a disclosure of identity of victim of a certain offences, etc. Section 73 is that printing or publishing any matter relating to court proceedings without permission. Section 73 is that printing or publishing any matter relating to court proceedings without permission. Section 73 is that printing or publishing any matter relating to court proceedings without permission of a criminal course and assault against women, of a criminal course and criminal force and assault against women, of criminal force and assault against women. Section 74 is assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to outrage her modesty. Okay, Section 74 is assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to outrage her modesty. Section 74 is assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to outrage her modesty. Section 75 is sexual harassment. Section 75 is sexual harassment. Section 76 is assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to disrobe. Section 76 is that assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to disrobe. Okay, Section 77 is voyeurism. Section 77 is voyeurism. Section 78 is stalking. Section 78 is stalking. Section 78 is stalking. Section 79 is word, gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Section 79 is word, gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Section 79 is word, gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Okay, then offences relating to marriage. Offences relating to marriage. 80 is the dowry death. 80 is the dowry death. Section 81 is the cohabitation caused by man deceitfully inducing belief of lawful marriage. Cohabitation caused by man. Cohabitation. Section 81. Section 81. Cohabitation caused by woman deceitfully inducing belief of lawful marriage. Section 82. Marrying again during lifetime of a husband or wife. Section 82 is that marrying again during lifetime of a husband or wife. Section 83. Marriage ceremony fraudulent gone through without lawful marriage. Section 83. Marriage ceremony fraudulently gone through without lawful marriage. Section 84. Enticing or taking away or detaining with criminal intent a married woman. 84 is that enticing or taking away or detaining with criminal intent a married woman. Okay, 84 is that husband or relative of a husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. Section 85 is that husband or relative of a husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. Section 86 is the cruelty defined. Section 86 is that cruelty defined. Section 82 cruelty defined. Section 87 kidnapping, abducting or inducing woman to compel her marriage, etc. Section 87 kidnapping, abducting or inducing woman to compel her marriage, etc. of causing miscarriage, etc. of causing miscarriage, etc. 88 causing miscarriage. Okay, 88 causing miscarriage. 89 is causing miscarriage without woman's consent. 89 causing miscarriage without woman's consent. 90 death caused by act done with intent to cause miscarriage. 90 death caused by act done with intent to cause miscarriage. 1891 is that act done with an intent to prevent child being born alive or to cause to die after birth. 91 act done with intent to prevent child being born alive or to cause to die after birth. 92 causing death of a quick unborn child by act amounting to a culpable homicide. Okay, 92 causing death of quick unborn child by act amounting to culpable homicide. Of offences against child. Of offences against child. 93 is exposure and abetment of a child under 12 years of age by parent or person having care of it. Okay, 93 exposure and abandonment of a child under 12 years of age by parent or person having care of it. Okay, 94 is concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. 94 concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. 94 concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. 95 hiring, employing or engaging a child to commit an offense. 95 hiring, employing or engaging a child to commit an offense. 96 procuration of a child. 96 procuration of child. 97 kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years of age with intent to steal from its person. 97 kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years of age with intent to steal from its person. 98 selling child for purposes of prostitution, etc. 98 selling child for purposes of prostitution, etc. 99 buying child for purposes of prostitution, etc. 99 buying child for purposes of prostitution, etc. Chapter 6 is that of offences affecting the human body. Okay, offences affecting the human body, of offences affecting life. Okay, section 100 is that culpable homicide. Section 100 culpable homicide. 101 murder. 101 murder. 102 culpable homicide by causing death of a person other than person whose death was intended. 102 okay, culpable homicide by causing death of a person other than person whose death was intended. 103 punishment for murder. 103 punishment for murder. 104 punishment for murder by life convict. 104 punishment for murder by life convict. And 105 punishment for a culpable homicide not amounting to murder. 105 punishment for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. 106 causing death by negligence. 106 causing death by negligence. 107 okay, abetment of a suicide of a child or a person of unsound mind. 107 abetment of a suicide of a child or person who of unsound mind. 108 abetment of a suicide. 109 attempt to murder. 110 okay, attempt to commit to culpable homicide. Section 111 is that organized crime. Section 112 petty organized crime. Section 112 petty organized crime. Section 113 terrorist act. Section 113 is a terrorist act. Okay, of hurt. Section 114 is a hurt. 115 voluntarily causing hurt. 116 grievous hurt. 117 voluntary causing grievous hurt. 117 voluntary causing grievous hurt. 118 voluntary causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or movements. Okay, or means. Okay, 118 voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or means. 119 voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort property or to constrain to an illegal act. 120 is voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort confession or to compel restoration of property. 120 voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort confession or to compel restoration of property. 121 voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to deter public servant from his duty. 121 voluntarily causing hurt or grieves hurt to deter public servant from his duty. 121 is voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to deter a public servant from his duty. 122 voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt on provocation. 122 is voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt on provocation. 123 causing hurt by means of poison etc. with intent to commit an offence. 123 causing hurt by means of poison etc. with intent to commit an offence. 123 causing hurt by means of poison etc. with intent to commit an offence. 124 voluntarily causing grievous hurt by use of acid etc. 124 voluntarily causing grievous hurt by 124 grievously causing voluntarily causing and grievous hurt by use of acid etc. 125 act endangering life of personal life safety of others. 125 act endangering life of personal safety of others of wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement 126 wrongful restraint 126 wrongful restraint 127 wrongful confinement 127 wrongful confinement of criminal force and result 128 is force 128 force 129 criminal force 129 criminal force 130 assault 130 assault 131 punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation 131 punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation 131 punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation 132 assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty 132 assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty 132 assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty. 133 assault or criminal force with intent to dishonor person otherwise than on grave provocation. 133 assault or criminal force with intent to dishonor person otherwise than on grave provocation. 133 assault or criminal force with intent to dishonor person otherwise than on grave provocation. 134 assault or criminal force in attempt to commit theft of property carried by a person. 134 assault or criminal force in attempt to commit theft of property carried by a person. 134 assault or criminal force in attempt to commit theft of property carried by a person. 134 assault or criminal force in attempt to wrongfully confine a person. 135 assault or criminal force in attempt to wrongfully confine a person. 136 assault or criminal force on grave provocation. 136 assault or criminal force on grave provocation. 136 assault or criminal force on grave provocation of kidnapping, abduction, slavery and forced labor. Of kidnapping, abduction, slavery and forced labor. 137 is the kidnapping, 137 is the kidnapping, 138 abduction, 139 kidnapping or maiming a child for purposes of begging. 139 is that kidnapping or maiming a child for purposes of begging. 140 is the kidnapping or abducting in order to murder or for ransom etc. 140 140 kidnapping 140 kidnapping 140 or abducting in order to murder for ransom etc. 140 is the kidnapping or abducting in order to murder or for ransom etc. And 141 is that 141 is an important importation of girl or boy from foreign country. 141 is an importation of girl or boy from foreign country. 141 importation of girl or boy from foreign country. Then 141. Then come to 141. 141. Then section 142 is that wrongfully concealing. 142 is that wrongfully concealing or keeping in confinement kidnapped or abducted person. 142 is wrongfully concealing. 142 is wrongfully concealing. 142 is wrongfully concealing or keeping in confinement kidnapped or abducted person. 143 is that trafficking of a person. 143 trafficking of a person. 143 trafficking of a person. 144 exploitation of a trafficked person. 144 is that exploitation of a trafficked person. 144 some exploitation of the trafficked person, and habitual 145 is a habitual dealing in slaves. Okay, 145 is a habitual dealing in slaves. 145 habitual dealing in slaves. Okay, habitual dealing in slaves 145. 146 unlawful compulsory labor. 146 unlawful compulsory labor. 146 okay, unlawful compulsory labor. 146 unlawful compulsory labor. Okay, then now come to chapter 7. Now chapter 7 is that chapter 7, okay, of offenses against the state. Offenses against the state, that is chapter 7 of offenses against the state. States, that is offenses against the state, that is chapter 7. Okay, 147 is that waging or attempting to wage war or abetting waging of war against government of India. Waging or attempting to waging war or abetting waging of war against government of India. Okay, 147 waging or attempting to wage war or abetting waging of war against government of India. 147. Then 148 is that, okay, 148 is that, what is that? 148 is that, okay, 140 conspiracy to commit offences, punishable offences, section 147. What is that? 148 is a conspiracy to commit offences punishable by section 147. Conspiracy to commit offences punishable by section 147. There is a cut in 148. Okay, 148, section 148. Then come to section 149 is that collecting arms etc. with intention of waging war against government of India. Okay, 149 is a collecting arms etc. with intention of waging war against government of India. 149 is a collecting arms etc. with intention of waging war against government of India. This is one correction one. 150 is concealing with intent to facilitate design to war wage war. Concealing with intent to facilitate facility designed to wage war. Okay, 150 concealing with intent to facility designed to wage war. 151 is assaulting president, governor, etc. with intent to compel or restrain exercise of any lawful power. Okay, assaulting president, governor, etc. with intent to compel or restrain exercise by of any lawful power. 151 is assaulting president, governor, etc. with intent to compel or restrain exercise of unlawful of any lawful power. 152 is an act endangering sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. 152 is an act endangering sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Act 152, act endangering sovereignty, unity, integrity of India. Okay, integrity of India. This is section 152. Okay, section 152 is like this. Then come to section 153 is a waging war against government of any foreign state and peace with government of India. Section 153, waging war against government of any foreign state at peace with the government of India. Section 154, committing depredation and territories of foreign state at peace with government of India. 154 is committing depredation on terrorists of foreign state at peace with the government of India. Section 155, receiving property taken by war or depredation mentioned in sections 153 and 154. Okay, then come to 156 is a public servant voluntarily allowing prisoner of a state or war to escape. Section 156, public servant voluntarily allowing prisoner of a state or war to escape. Section 157, public servant negligently suffering such a prisoner to escape. Section 157, public servant negligently suffering such prisoner to escape. Okay, 158, aiding escape of rescuing or harboring such prisoner. Okay, section 158, aiding escape of a prisoner or harboring such prisoner. So total 358 sections is there. Okay, total 358 sections. Yeah, then.